Good evening, hockey fans. For tonight's NHL matchup, your Utah Hockey Club continues the homestand game 2 of 4 tonight against the Chicago Blackhawks. Lineups for tonight's game. Looking over to Utah, Keller, Cooley, Schmaltz on that top line, Carcone, Hayton, Gunther on the second, Kraus, McBain, Doan on the third, Kerfoot, Stenlin, Bukestad round out the forward group. Sergachev, Marino on the top D pair for Utah, Cole, Kesselring on the second, Mata and Dursey finish that out, and Vamelka in net. Looking over to the Blackhawks, Nazar, Bedard, Bertuzzi on the top line, Teravainen, Foligno, Mikheyev on the second, Slager, Doc, Donato on the third, Maroon, Kurashev, Smith rounding out the forward group. Martinez and Jones on the top D pair, Vlasic, Murphy on the second, Allen and Del Mastro on the third, and Soderblom in net. Utah coming off a critical win on, I forgot what day that was, Sunday against Vancouver, taking 2 points further in the playoff race. They're going to want a chance. They need 2 more tonight against Chicago, which, while not the most difficult of opponents, they can put up a fight if challenged, so Utah cannot take them easy tonight. This is the second of 4 matchups. First one, the historical inaugural game on October 8th, Utah taking that one 5-2. See if they can repeat that tonight. Opening face-off taken by Foligno and McBain for Utah. Face-off one back by Chicago. They'll dump this one in left side, trying to ring it around. Vamelka looks slow. He'll dump it a little bit into the into the right side corner. Mata looking to clear this one out left side. Flynn will keep it in along the boards, getting this one to Teravainen behind the net. Dursey with a bit of pressure there. McBain coming in to bring that physicality. Mata in the right side corner with it. Trying to clear this one out left side. Chicago will keep this one in deep. Foligno forced to dump this one to the corner. Nobody there but Utah. After a couple passes, they'll get this one out. Here they come back up the other way. McBain, he'll dump this one right side. 2-on-1, can't do much. Foligno able to clear this one around to Teravainen, right side board in his own zone. He'll get over his own blue line. Trying to dump this one up, looking for a pass over to Mikheyev. Won't find it, though. Chicago goes for a change. Dump back into their own zone. Here's Murphy with it, or Martinez with it. Looking for a long pass up center, trying to get this one to Bedard. Trying to get it to Nazar. Now Bedard behind the net with it. Over to Bertuzzi, looks for one from an angle, floats in the air. Easy little save there for Vamelka. Utah's going to have to keep an eye. I mean, obviously, they're going to have to keep an eye on Bedard tonight. The big drive for the Chicago offense. Though a lot of the other younger players, from what I've seen, playing very good. Nazar specifically having a great season so far when he's been called up. Left side draw, Utah zone. Puck one against the boards, pushed in the left side corner. Marino not able to handle it. Bertuzzi will take it away instead. Utah able to strip that one away from him. Back up the other way they come. It's Bukestad with it, trying to get this one in right side. Martinez doing a great job of kind of fighting him off there. Is that a delayed penalty or just an offsides? Looked to be just an offside. No, that one will be a delayed penalty on Chicago. Speak the devil, Nazar going to the bench, 2 minutes for holding against Kerfoot. So Utah to the power play early. Utah power play unit looking or trying at their very least have a better game than last time. I believe 1 for 4 is what they went. So if they can even do slightly better than that, with the players out there, definitely should be. Left side draw, Chicago zone. It'll be Hayton and Foligno on the draw. See if they can get it on the third attempt. They'll kick Foligno out of the dot. It'll be Teravainen and Hayton now. Hayton wins this one back cleanly. Kept in line by Sergachev. We'll get this one to Keller, moving up to the right side dot. Looks for a passing opportunity. Find Hayton deep, right back to Keller, though. Walking the line, back down to Sergachev now. Back over to Keller, takes the shot. That one saved away by Soderblom. Takes a bounce to Foligno, and he'll clear this one all the way down to the Utah end. 18:20 left in the first, 1:35 left in the Utah power play. Still shotless, although it should be updated. That one was definitely on net. Regardless, Keller back up the right side will find Hayton in the middle. Now Gunther, right side, looks for a tip in front. Schmaltz the one there. Great save there by Soderblom. Both teams battle for it in the right side corner. Keller able to take this one away. Back down the line for Gunther. Back to Keller. A little pressure will get this one to Schmaltz in the middle. Now Hayton deep with it. Back to Keller, right side dot. Looking for a pass here. Looking for another centering attempt. That one goes way wide. Gunther trying to push this one around. Instead, it'll bounce off the stick of Sergachev right up into the crowd. A minute 06 left in the Utah power play. 17:51 left in the first. This power play unit definitely looking better than that last game. Although in the Vancouver game, they had plenty of chances through that first little bit there. Just couldn't get it done when they needed. Right side draw, Chicago zone. Doan able to win this one into the right side corner, but Martinez will get to it first. Jones looking to clear this one down, and he will. Vejmelka, he'll leave this one behind the net for Dursey. 55 seconds left in the Utah power play now. Back over the line, it's Cooley getting into the right side, trying to cut into the middle. That one taken away by Jones, looking to clear this one down again, and he will. Chicago penalty kill doing a great job of preventing Utah from really getting back into the zone after the initial kind of rush of attempts. Kirkoni circling his own zone, pressured by Mikheyev. Not able to do much with it, but great effort to kill time. He'll take a bounce back. Krause now with it. 25 seconds left in the Utah power play. Drops this one back for Dursey up over his own blue line. Chips this one back to Krause, entering left side. Takes a couple bounces, though, and he's not able to grab it. This one cleared all the way back down by Kurashev. Vejmelka will get to it first. Thinks about shooting this one down, but instead he'll just hold this one back in his own zone. Schmaltz back, or Kerfoot back with it, trying to cut up into the middle. He'll dump this one deep in the corner. That penalty killed off. Vlasic in the corner with it. They're going to pass up. Chicago looking for a long pass up. They'll find it. It's Nazar, backhand fresh out of the box. That one saved away by Vejmelka. Deep in the corner now. Donato with it. He'll dump this one around to the left side boards, trying to get it back to Allen. Instead, he'll double back to his own zone. He'll be forced to just dump this one back in. Chicago, I assume, goes for a change there. Mata, he'll dump this one around for Cole as Utah now going for a change. 16:10 left in the first. We should not be shotless still after shots currently sitting 2-1 in favor of Chicago. Because, shocker, the Utah scorebug broke again. Utah with a failed entry there. It's Bedard back up the other way. Enters left side, slows at the line, trying to push this one deep to Nazar. Instead, it'll bounce all the way around to Jones. Nazar looking for a centering feed there. Takes a couple bounces. Utah back up the other way. It's Schmaltz with it. Enters right side. Long pass over for Keller. Finds Cooley in the middle, trying to find nobody there. Schmaltz fakes one from an angle. Back to Keller right side with it. Throws this one at the net. Takes a couple bounces. Martinez gets in the way, though. Nazar with it, and he'll just float this one up over the blue line. Sergachev up to Schmaltz now. Cooley with it. Loses control right at the line. Great pressure by him, though, to make sure Chicago does not get the puck back there. Kessering will dump this one deep. Martinez with it now. Back in his own zone. Free to skate around. Bad pass from him, though. Utah back up the other way quickly. Doan with it. Cutting in. Looks for a pass there. Nobody. Instead, it'll be Donato with it. Back up the other way. Long pass for Slaggert, I believe there. Doesn't matter as he doesn't grab it. Utah now back with it. Doan looking for a cross-ice pass to Krause. Won't find that either. Slaggert up to Doc, moving up the other way. Chips this one up to Donato along the right side boards. Looks for a centering feed. That one poked away. Doc, he'll try and dump this one behind the Utah net, taken away by Cole. Doc stays back with pressure, though. Kessering will grab it. He'll clear this one back into the Chicago zone. Should be an icing. Will be an icing. 14:36 left in the first. Great exchange of rushes there back and forth between both teams. Chicago pushing early, trying to establish that pressure, get that swing in their momentum early to kind of make Utah play a little harder than they maybe would have wanted. Great passes there from that top line on Utah. Doan trying to set up both McBain and Krause, looking for a few feeds, just ultimately couldn't find either. Left side draw in the Utah zone, tied up the dot. Both teams digging away at it. Finally poke free. Take a couple bounces, but Utah will regain control. Kirkoni trying to chip this one to himself, but tied up along the boards instead by Vlasic. Mikheyev, he'll push this one around to Murphy. Back to Vlasic with it. Murphy in his own zone. Looking for a long centering ice pass. That one chipped up into the zone by Foligno. Model will get to it first, though. Teravainen trying to put some pressure. Taken away by Vlasic in the left side corner. Foligno trying to race forward. He'll take a bounce over to Dursey, trying to get this one up to Gunther. He'll put it right into the middle of the Utah zone. They'll have control and clear it up and out. Kirkoni looking to dump this one in. Instead, Chicago will push this one all the way back down. Dursey not able to stop it at the line, but he'll grab it behind his own net. Looking for a pass up to Gunther. That one taken away by Kurashev, although immediately taken back by Dursey. Great effort by him, though. Not give up on that play. Back up the other way. Loses control of the puck just for a second. Back to Dursey now. Back to Kerfoot at the line. Takes a shot. That one saved by Soderblom. I was going to say Kerfoot, but that's not who's in net at all. 13:34 left in the first. Both teams still tied at 0, but great efforts back and forth between both. Listening to Chicago, Utah, and Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. We'll be back after the short commercial break. $13:34 left in the first, still tied at 0. Chicago coming out playing tonight. Love the effort so far I've seen from a couple players. Mikheyev on that last rush there, I believe the one. Just not giving up, fighting for it in the corners, especially when Chicago's going for a change there. Just keeping that play deep in the Utah zone for as long as possible. Great effort by them. Left side draw on the Chicago end. It'll be Schmaltz and Bedard on the draw as Cooley kicked out of the dot. Face off one back by Utah. Quick shot by Keller right into the glove of Soderblom. He'll hold for the save. Score bug finally fixed. Shots currently sitting at, should be 2-3 in favor of Utah. 13:31 now left. We'll get this one dropped again. Left side again. Cooley back to the dot, and it'll be Donato this time. One back by Utah again. Down the line. Here's Marino with it right side. Chips this one up to Keller, looking for a centering feed. Won't find it. Gets it right back to him, though. Dancing along the right side boards. Force a dump this one into the right side corner. It's Vlasic doing a great job pressuring Keller against the boards. Tries to find that centering pass anyway. That one taken away by Donato, but can't quite clear it. Kept in by Schmaltz along the left side boards. Finds Cooley in the middle. Back down to Marino in the line. Sergachev right back to him. Throws this one at the net. Takes a bounce. Goes wide. Murphy trying to clear it out. Kept in by Schmaltz. Back to Cooley. Now Sergachev with it in the left side corner. Or left side point. Schmaltz looking for one into the middle. That one taken away by Donato, and he'll clear this one all the way down to the Utah end. Does it a little too well, though, as that one down for an icing. 12:48 left in the first now. Shots updated accordingly, 3-2 Utah. Another game Utah needs to take both points tonight, although it's not as bad as the Vancouver one if they let Chicago get a point. It's more about making sure they get two and not letting any team creep up on them in their attempts at the playoffs. Right side draw on the Chicago end. Stenlin and Donato drop this one a second time. This one back by Chicago. Murphy looking to clear this one out along the left side boards. Utah fighting to keep it in. It'll be dumped right side. It's rung around the boards. Stenlin with it. He'll push down the line for Kesselring. Throws this one to the net, looking for a bounce. Instead, it'll bounce into Foligno. It'll take over to the left side boards. A bounce in the middle. Utah back with it. Bad pass, though. Nobody there. Cole trying to get one on net. That one catches a body. I believe Nazar the one there. Both teams digging away in front, looking for a close one. That one finally held by Soderblom. And it is Nazar, the one getting in front of that shot. Great effort by him, but he looks a little shaken up after that one. See on the replay here. Yeah, just gets that one right into the left leg. Gets up after the play, so hopefully he's all right. Maybe just sitting on the bench for a second, maybe heal that up for him. Utah fighting in close. Love to see in an effort like this. They know they cannot lose this game, especially against an easier opponent like Chicago. Cannot take them lightly at this time of year or any time of year, frankly. 12-20, left side draw in the Chicago zone this time. Carconi, Kurashev on the draw. One back by Carconi, but nobody there but Chicago to grab it. Trying to cut into the zone. Utah will take it right back at their own line, though. Trying to dump it deep. Hits the ref. Likely would have been an icing call there on Utah. Ultimately doesn't. Allen with it, trying to chip this one up. It'll bounce all the way on net, though, so no icing. Utah back in control. Dumped over the Chicago blue line, but Allen pushes it right back over. And then come back up the other way. Maroon trying to chip this one around the boards. Model will get to it first. Kurashev with pressure. But ultimately, Utah will get it back over their own line. Hayton dancing in the neutral zone with it, kind of waiting for a partial change there. Gunther up over the line. Forced to dump this one deep, has no support. Chicago get back to it first. 11:34 now left in the first. Chicago dumps this one back down to the Utah line. Kesselring with it. He'll try and chip this one in. Takes a couple bodies. Instead, it'll be McBain that pushes this one in. Trying to cut to the net. Throws this one. That one saved away by Soderblom. Push the right side boards. Rung back around left side. McBain will get to it first. Pushing it around to the right side again. Trying to find Doan. Ultimately won't, but he'll keep it in right at the line. Throws this one deep. Pushed down on the right side corner. Be McBain with it. Looking for a centering feed there to Kraus. Push back down the line for Kesselring. Ends up left side for Cole. Throws this one on the net. Hits a body. Doesn't even reach Soderblom. Mikheyev trying to get this one up the other way. Ultimately trips over himself. Loses control of the puck there. Utah back in their own zone. Jersey with it. Chips this one back to Kesselring. He'll put it in right side corner. McBain racing for it. Jones will get to it first and get this one over to Martinez. Slaggert up out of the zone with it. Gets this one across to Jones. Throws this one in the net. That one saved away by Vejmelka. Trying to chip it out right side. Cooley, he'll get a stick on it. It'll bounce out of the zone. Martinez will get to it first, though. Trying to push this one back up the boards and instead chipped up into the Utah bench. So play blown dead. Or not Cooley that tipped this one out. Doan that tips this one out. Regardless, great effort by Utah defensively to just not get Chicago set up in any way, forced to take those shots from the point, which Vejmelka can just stop with ease. Center ice draw, it'll be Cooley and Bedard. Tied up the dots, both try and win it. That one ends up back for Utah. Marino over to Sergachev. Long pass across to Keller. He'll get it up over the line. Push right back out, though. That one off sides. 10:18 left in the first. Shot sitting 5-3 in favor of Utah. Take a quick look at some of the other stats. Yep, there we go. Another good stat to see here. Hits sitting 6-4 in favor of Utah. Always great when Utah plays that physical game. So they're not really the best at it. So putting that pressure on early, you love to see. It was a right side draw outside the Chicago zone. Utah tries to push it in, but that one right up into the netting. So play blown dead again. Additionally, another stat Chicago's really got to focus on here. Faceoffs currently sitting 8-3 in favor of Utah. Which, when Utah controls the faceoff, they've played extremely well. So that another stat great to see. Left side draw outside the Chicago zone this time. One back by them, dumped deep into their own zone, trying to clear it out themselves. They will. And they come back up the other way. It's Bedard up the right side boards. Had Nazar in the middle. Kind of trips into the right side corner there. Both teams going at it. Centering feed to nobody, but kept in the line, and that one blown dead. Wonder if they'll call a penalty. Looks like they will. Looks like it'll be Chicago back to the box. It'll be Murphy, I believe. There it is. Roughing against Sergachev. We'll see if anything else gets added onto that. Because it does. We are heading to commercial, so we'll see if anything else gets added. Wouldn't be surprised if Sergachev might get something, but we'll have to wait and see. As we stand, still tied at 0. You're listening to Chicago, Utah, and Utah, 801 Utah Hockey Radio. We'll be back after the short commercial break. 9:52 left in the first. Looks like Utah going to the power play. Only penalty on the play there. Murphy taking 2-minute roughing against Sergachev. Not too sure about that one. Like you could have either had Sergachev as well or not given Murphy one, but regardless, I'm not a ref, so I just call it as it is. Utah back to the power play. We'll see if they're a little more successful than they were on the first attempt, especially if they can keep it in the Chicago zone for an extended period of time this time. It'll be a left side draw. Hayton Foligno on the draw. One back by Hayton cleanly, right to Sergachev. Left side point with it. Finds Keller. Trying to throw this one. Takes a couple bounces, just bounces wide though. Sergachev back over to Keller, right side point with it. Tries to throw it in front for a tip. Instead, tipped to the right side corner by Vlasic. Both teams digging away at it. Hayton will regain control back to Keller. At least he tries to. That one taken away along the boards and dumped back down to Vejmelka. 9.5 left in the first. 1:35 left in the Utah power play. Utah in their own zone with it. Here's Schmaltz back over the line. Trying to cut into the middle with it. Loses control of the puck. Vlasic not able to grab it either. He has Gunther to help. He'll dump this one into the right side corner for Keller. Or left side corner for Keller. Jones back with it. He'll find Vlasic in the right side corner this time. Trying to clear this one out. Will be, but kept right at the line. Sergachev back up to Hayton. That one poke checked away from him. Ends up back in the Utah zone. 1:05 left in the Utah power play this time. Dump back for Schmaltz. He'll try and push this one in again. He'll dump this one in over to the right side for Keller. Push deep right side corner. Trying to get it right back to him. Chicago will take this one away and dumps it all the way back down. Jersey back to grab it. 45 seconds left in the Utah power play now. Jersey leaves this one for Cooley in his own end. Cuts up over the red line. Gets right into the middle. That one poke checked away from him, though. Kept in alive along the right side boards. Back to Cooley, trying to cut into the middle with it. Can't get a shot off. Forced back to the left side point. Jersey right in the slot with it. Pass this one across to Carcone. Back to Jersey. Launches one just wide, though. Chicago will take it and dumps it all the way back down to Utah end once again. Jersey, 10 seconds left in the Utah power play. Looking for one last rush here. 8 minutes left in the third. They'll cut it in over to Doan right side. Forced to bring this one around. Krause loses control from Jones. Teravainen will come to take this one away. That penalty killed off for Chicago. Dumped back into the Utah end. No icing on that play. Shots currently sitting 5-4 in favor of Utah. Carcone racing this one up all on his own, trying to cut into the middle. Won't get the shot off. Takes a bounce wide, kept in along the left side boards. Looking for a centering feed there is Mata trying to find Kerfoot. Ultimately doesn't. Kept in a line by Bukestad. He'll dump this one all the way around. Just goes a little wide for Mata. Can't pick up that pass. Bertuzzi looking to clear. Marino will keep it in instead. Looking to find Stenlin. Won't be able to. Here's Chicago back up the other way. It's Donato with it. Delayed penalty on Utah. Fakes the shot there. That one poke checked away by Marino. Or by Mata. So Utah now to the boxes. They've failed on the first two attempts. We'll see if they can do something on their attempt on the penalty kill. It'll be Stenlin taking a 2-minute holding against Bedard. So we'll see here if the Chicago power play can take advantage of this opportunity, get that pressure against Utah early. I think if they can get one in here, obviously it would be huge. But especially the way they have been so good defensively so far tonight, if they can get one in on this power play, prove to Utah, hey, you can't take penalties. If we take penalties, we won't let you do anything on them. And if you take penalties, we're going to score on them. Getting that pressure early is critical for them. See here, Stenlin to the box. 7:13 left in the first. Left side draw, Utah zone. Hayton, Donato on the draw. Tied up the dot. Utah pushes one to the left side corner. Bedard trying to race for it. Donato looking to throw this one back to the right side point. Not able to. Still tied up along the left side boards. Ultimately kept free by Bedard. Gets this one across the right side. Back down to Jones. Dances along the line with it. Back up the line, I believe, for Teravainen. Dancing down. Jones a shot. That one blocked away by Utah. McBain, great effort there. Jones, another one, takes a bounce. Kept in, though. It is Teravainen. Pushes one right back to him. Barely kept in. It's Bedard. Long pass across to Teravainen. Back down Jones the line. Back to Teravainen. Finds Donato deep with it. Back to Jones, right side point with it. Circles. Trying to cut up in the slot. Him and Bedard switch sides. Jones moving up with it. Throws that one right into the net. Beautiful effort by him. Just kind of circles the entire bottom of the Utah zone. Takes this one all on his own. He's just looking for that opportunity. Ultimately finds that one in the back of the net. What an amazing effort by that Chicago power play. Donato deep with it. He'll find Jones, and he just circles the right side point, moves all the way over to the left side, and then ultimately McBain moves to cover Bedard, leaves that entire left side dot open for Jones, moves in with it. Excellent shot by him, puts this one right side bar down. Jones, his 7th of the season on the power play. Donato and Teravainen with the assists, their 20th and 29th. That's exactly how you want that drawn up if you're Chicago. Opening draw one back by Utah. Dursey gets this one back over to Keller. Kind of loses control of it for a second. Forced to dump this one deep. Soderblom will get to it first, dumping it around the right side boards. Utah looking to keep this one in. Instead, Foligno, he'll dump this one back to the line. Utah push it back into their own zone. Kind of calm this one down, regain a little bit of control. Here's Schmaltz with it. Looking for a pass across to Keller. That one kind of hits the stick there of Mikheyev. Ultimately taken away. Long pass up the other end. Here's Mata trying to dig it away in the right side corner. We'll get it back up to Schmaltz. Up over the red line. Back across to Keller. Kept on the line by Cooley. Circling that left side point. Forced to move it up the boards to Keller. He'll move back down the left side point. Long pass across the right side. Nobody there. Keller will pick it up and neutralize. Dumps this one back to Vamilka. He'll push this one back behind the Utah net as they go for a change. 5.5 left in the first. Kesselring forced to dump this one around. Utah just kind of circling their own zone with it, trying to find something to cut up out with. Finally, it's Carcone cutting up. He'll find Gunther left side, kind of loses control. Pass over to Carcone, loses control and crashes the net. Soderblom, a little shaken up after that one. Hopefully he's all right. I'm sure it was just on the impact. We'll have to see. I'm sure they're not going to show a replay because they never do. A great effort there by Utah to rush that one back up the other way. Gunther almost has one across to Carcone, but ultimately a little too deep with it. See if they can get some answer back in these next 5 minutes. 5:14 left in the first. Listening to you, Chicago, Utah, and Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. We'll be back after the short commercial break. .5:14 left in the first. Utah trailing 1-0 off a frankly beautiful shot from Jones on the power play. Utah definitely needs to find out whatever the issue is on that power play. Between tonight so far and last game in against Vancouver, currently sitting 3 for 6. Vancouver, they went 1 for 4 and they're 0 for 2 tonight. Finally, a replay on that play there. Yeah, Carcone just a little too deep as he tries to rush up the other side and crashes that left side post. Left side draw outside of the Chicago end. It'll be McBain. No, it won't. Both players switched out. will be Kraus and Foligno on the draw. Eventually. Finally puck drop. That one back by Chicago. Moving up is Murphy with it, or is Martinez with it. Forced to ring this one around. Will end up left side corner. Moved all the way around back to the right side for Jones. He'll dump this one around the left side boards, trying to find Mikheyev with it. That one shot from Kurashev. That goes wide. Or not Mikheyev. Doesn't matter. Utah back up the other way, trying for a breakaway here. Backhand right to the glove of Soderblom. He'll keep that one out, though. Another one for McBain. That one saved away as well. Utah looking to keep this one in, but that one a delayed penalty again. It will be on Chicago, it looks like. So this one, their third power play, taking a cue from the Vancouver game where they realized, hey, we can play a little sloppier. This team does not know what they're doing on the power play. Back up the play a little bit there. Kraus has a breakaway up the other way. That one, Chicago tries to keep it in at line, takes a bounce. He breaks all three of the players on the line. Ultimately, tries to go for a backhand right side, puts that one into the glove of of Soderblom instead, but he can't hold that one down. Was a left side draw on the Chicago, and Utah not able to do much with it, forced back their own blue line. They need something big on this power play here if they want to do if they want that swing back in their favor. Here's Gunther moving up the right side, trying to get a pass. Ultimately tied up along the boards, but will find Sergachev down the line, moves up the slot with it. Over to Schmaltz, right side. Now Keller up the right side dot. Deep is Hayton with it. Back to Keller. Back down the line for Sergachev. Moves up the slot looking for a shot. Back to Keller, right side. Dances with it. Ultimately takes a shot. That one blockered away. Kept in the line by Sergachev. Back to Gunther. He'll find Hayton deep. Back to Gunther. Sergachev down with it. Keller fakes a shot. Back to Sergachev. Moves up with it. Takes a shot. That one saved away by Soderblom. Keller, he'll throw this one back around to Sergachev. Moves to the left side point. Quick passes around by Utah. Ultimately ends up right back to Sergachev. Keller rips one. That one pad saved away. Hayton not able to get that tip that he wanted there. Ends up a couple bounces to Chicago. They'll clear this one all the way down. Murphy, the one to clear that one. Hayton a little shaken up after that one. He took a fall kind of in the crease area. Utah back up the other way quickly. It's Carcone trying to get something along the left side boards. Ultimately, Chicago will take that one and clears it all the way down again. 27 seconds left in the Utah power play. Vejmelka with a very horrible play there as he tries to clear it around the boards. Ultimately hits the side of the net. Chicago back in control. They'll move it back in their own end and dumps this one around. Vejmelka just lucky that one didn't end up in net. I believe it was Mikheyev there who had control of the puck, just couldn't get around in time. Carcone trying to get one in front, won't be able to. That one taken away by Chicago. Dumped deep just in time as that power play is killed off again. That's 3 Utah has failed to do really anything on. Looking for a long pass through, neutralized. That one tipped up into the boards by Stenlund. So that one played. So play blown dead there. 2:38 left in the first. Shot sitting 8-5 in favor of Utah. But ultimately doesn't matter as they're down 1. They have to figure out what's going on with this power play unit. Over these last few games, they just have not been able to figure out what's going on here. Sorry, they're not 3 for 6. They were 1 for 6, now 1 for 7 between the last 2 games. Right side draw, Chicago end taken back by him. Looking for a long pass up to Donato. He'll find it. Long pass across Bedard. That one hits a Utah body, goes wide. Back up out of their own zone. It's Kerfoot with it. Long pass over to Bukestad. Bedard, great pressure there to take that one away. Or not Bedard. Whoever the Chicago player was there, didn't quite see. Regardless, this one around to Kerfoot, tied up along the left side board. They'll take a bounce back to the Chicago line. Utah with control, but forced to dump this one deep to their own zone. 2 minutes left in the first. Leave Mata back to his own zone. Long pass up through center ice. He'll find Gunther moving up the right side, trying to cut in front. Great defense there by Vlasic. He'll just push him in the right side corner so he can't do anything. That puck floats on net. Soderblom for the easy stop. Minute 51 now left in the first. Utah just needs something going. They had this problem against Vancouver where they were outplaying them through most of the game. The difference here, they're not outplaying Chicago. Chicago matching them very well Hopefully this is not a case of playing down to competition, because there are no games they should be playing down to at this time of year. Right side draw, Hayton and Foligno on the draw. Chicago win this one back, trying to clear it up out of their own zone. Tipped just enough for an icing against them. So back to the Chicago end we'll go. Curious on the stats since I pointed out. Yeah, since I pointed out when I first did it, faceoffs were 8-3 in favor of Utah. Now putting 11-9 in favor of Chicago. So they definitely figured out whatever was going wrong. Foligno, Hayton on the draw, left side, Chicago end, one back by Foligno. Tied up, Vlasic will get to it first, moving out right side of his own zone. Looking for a long pass up through neutral ice. That one stopped by Bertuzzi. That will prevent the icing there. Foligno, Cole racing for it. Kesslering with a quick little tip in the left side corner. Utah up out of their own zone. Long pass through neutral ice to Carcone. Take a couple bounces. Cole trying to push this one in. Ultimately, Chicago will take it away. Back in control. Minute 15 left in the first now. Chip pass across to Kurashev. He'll cut in through the middle, looking for a pass over the right side. Nobody there. Utah back up the other way with speed. It's Doan. He's got Krause in the middle. He'll dump this one back to McBain. Trying to cut in front with takes a shot. That one goes wide as he tries to kind of backhand that one. Ultimately doesn't end up in net. That one left side corner now. Both teams taking away at it. 54 seconds. Running around the boards. Kept in by Marino, right side point. Trying to get a pass right to him is Doan. That one taken away by Chicago. Jones back in his own zone. Pass up to neutral ice for Kurashev. Bad pass by him. Utah back in control. Ultimately taken away right line by Martinez. Chicago trying to clear. Finally, they will on the second attempt there. Dumped all the way down to the Utah end for an icing. 29.8 left in the first. Shot sitting 8-5 in favor of Utah. Chicago up 1. They just haven't, Utah just not been able to get anything really going. This Chicago defense and just team in general playing extremely well tonight. Great effort from them. Utah's going to need to step it up in the second. Left side draw, one back by Chicago. They'll cut up out of their own zone with it. Mikheyev trying to just kill some time. He'll attempt to put this one in right side. It'll be Cooley now up the right side of the Chicago end. Finds Keller deep with it. That one taken away by Mikheyev. Great effort from him on this shift here. Bertuzzi chips this one back to him. Trying to get a pass over to Bedard. That one taken away. Or apologies. Nazar, the one on that second attempt there, not Kurashev. Everybody's got so close numbers in these 90s. All you see is 9 and you can't tell. Regardless, oh, come on. 6.5 left in the first. Yeah, Utah's going to need to pick up the pace here in the second if they now are losing 1-0, so they definitely need that goal, but also get that tying goal and get that momentum swinging back in their favor. Left side draw outside the Utah zone, tied up the dot. Cooley back with it. 3 seconds. He'll just dump this one up to Keller, trying to move in quick with it. Too much pressure there, 3-on-1. He'll take the shot anyway. That one saved away by Soderblom. That will be the end of the first. Final shot sitting 8-5 in favor of Utah. Chicago up 1. Couple big issues in Utah's game they need to get figured out, especially that power play unit. Now sitting 1 for 7 in the past 2 games. That's 1 for 4 against Vancouver, and that took till the 4th one to get something figured out. And then 0 for 3 already tonight. Chicago knows what they're doing, though. 1 for 1 on the power play. As we stand now, Chicago 1, Utah 0. You're listening to Utah Chicago on Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. See you back in about 15 for the second. Welcome back. So we are ready to start the second period. Chicago up 1. Some stats before we head into the second. Shots currently sitting 8-5 in favor of Utah. Faceoffs 13-9 in favor of Utah. Chicago 1 for 1 on the power play tonight. Utah once again 0 for 3 coming out of that first. Hits sitting 13-8 in favor of Utah. Block shots 7-2 in favor of Chicago. Moving into the second here, if you're Chicago, maybe a little more offensive pressure in the Utah end, but overall, you're playing great. You're defensively well-minded so far in this through the first. So, stand pat and you're pretty good. If you're Utah, you need to get something going. Maybe play a little more selfishly. It seems like at times they've just been trying to look for that perfect pass and then maybe a tip in. Maybe, hey, if you see something, maybe just shoot it at a point. Not everything's going to be a tip in or looking for a perfect pass. So maybe putting the goals for first might be the key to kind of coming out in the second here. Dumped in will be tied along the left side boards. Utah trying to wrap this one around. Jones not able to get to it first. Teravainen will grab it along the right side boards instead. Martinez back around to Jones, left side corner. Trying to move this one down at the point. Kept in by Mata. He'll move this one up the left side boards. Getting this one over to Cooley. He'll dump this one around. Or to Doan. He'll dump this one around. Foligno able to pick it off across the boards. That one dumped all the way to the Utah end on net, so no icing. Mata racing up the other end, trying to catch Chicago on a change, unsuccessful. Chicago dumped back up the other way. It's Nazar trying to get a pass over to Bertuzzi. Ultimately won't find it. Back to Nazar on the right side corner. Circling around with it, he'll find Bertuzzi again. Tied up along the boards, this one taken away by Utah. Hayton back up the other way, forced to dump this one to the right side corner. Too much pressure on him. Carconi trying to grab this one away. Gunther looking for kind of a tip or something in the middle, won't find it. Chicago looking to clear, taken right back by Utah. Here's Carconi up the left side, looking for a pass across to Hayton. That one missed by him. Here's Bedard back up the other way, across the red line. He'll double back through neutral ice. He'll just dump this one to the right side corner and provide some pressure during a change. Vejmelka, bad play by him. Pass to Chicago, right in front. That one's saved by Vejmelka. That's twice tonight. He's looked a little shaky. He tries to push this one around the boards, right side. I think it's a miscommunication between him and Sergachev. He's thinking, I'm going to try and dump this one around. Sergachev's thinking, hey, just leave this one. And ultimately, the puck just gets left behind the net. Bedard back playing, pressure there. So he's able to just come and swoop this one in. Quick pass to Slaggert. Ultimately, Vejmelka in the net in time to make that save. But that's 2 times a night. Vejmelka has miscommunicated the puck, or he's missed a kind of clearer route than he wanted. So I don't know. Maybe if you're Chicago, maybe you try and take advantage of that. Put some pressure on him when the puck goes around. See what happens. Left side draw on the Utah and this one tied up the dot just for a second. Utah looks for a clear, ultimately fails. Tied up along the boards by Donato. He'll wrap this one around right side. Jones will keep it in. Quick pass into the middle for Bedard. Back to Jones. Throws this one. That one goes wide. Or for Doc, not Bedard there. Cooley now within a neutral ice. He'll get this one over to Schmaltz, dumping this one around. Around to the left side boards, both teams digging away at it. Chicago looking to push this one out. Ultimately, they will. Doc trying to move up with it the other way. Taken away by Kesselring. Had Slaggert with him as well. Back up the other way is Keller. Forced to dump this one to the right side corner. Too much pressure on him. Vlasic will ring this one around right side. Del Mastro trying to get to it first. He'll clear this one out left side. Pass up their neutral ice. Back behind the net. Vejmelka able to pass this one successfully. However, the Utah pass on the left side corner misses everybody entirely back down to the Chicago end. That one will be an icing. Smith as well on that last play there. Great play, just great defense in general by him. Great pressure in the corner. 17:31 left in the second. Shots sitting 8-6 in favor of Chicago. Or no, it's not. 8-6 in favor of Utah. I read that backwards. Great effort by Chicago so far in these first few minutes. Utah just has to get something going, and I'm not sure what you need to get going against Chicago. I guess clearly it's more than you think. Left side draw on the Utah zone, one back by him. Sergachev with it, trying to push this one out right side boards. Keller not able to hold that one down. Chicago will take it right back. Maroon back to Smith. Long pass across. Sergachev fighting for it in the right side corner. Schmaltz able to grab this one away. It'll end up to Stenlin along the boards. Both players lose their stick, but immediately grab that one back. Utah back up the other way. Here's Kerfoot moving into the slot, takes a shot. That one hits a body, and then I think hits the bar. Kerfoot looking for a centering feed, won't find it. It'll take a bounce to left side boards. Nobody there but Chicago. Dumped back behind the net by Bedard. Utah able to steal that one away as they try and move in front with it. Kerfoot tries cut in front, not able to. He'll pick it up along the left side boards. Dump back for Jersey, trying to cut in, looking for one from an angle. Instead, he'll dump this one back to the right side point. Sergachev a shot. That one takes a bounce. Kerfoot will grab it back along the right side boards. Dancing with it, he'll find Doan, run around to Mata left side with it now. Gets this one around to Doan, trying to get a pass to himself in the middle, kept in by Utah. Him and McBain along the right side with it. Doan circling the zone again with it. Back down to the point, kept in by Jersey. Thrown back to Doan. Mata shot that one. I believe hits the Utah body there of Krause and then bounces up. Krause very shaken up after that one. Gets up on his own though, but he is very limping. He's limping a lot to the bench. That is not what you want to see for Utah. Especially, he's played very good over these last few games, providing that physicality that they've needed. It'll be a blow to him to lose, but it would maybe give Maselli a chance back in the lineup. Not that you want to cut Krause out of the lineup to do it, but if you're looking for a silver lining. And we'll see on the replay here where exactly that struck him, or we won't. That cuts away before that even happens. Left side draw, Chicago end, kept in by Utah. Gunther trying to fight forward at the line. Instead, it'll be Bertuzzi that knocks it out of the zone. Both teams digging forward along the right side board in neutral ice. Cole able to dump this one deep, ends up on net, so no icing. Allen racing for it. Soderblom will push this right side out of his own zone. Both teams trying to get this one in the Utah end. It'll finally bounce to the right side corner. Donato trying to dig away at it. He's got Nazar to help him. Hayden as well trying to push this one around. He's got Carconi to help him. Chicago back down the line. It'll be Del Mastro with it. Trying to cut up. That one hits Hayden. Takes a bounce wide. Left side. Both teams digging away at it. In front, Vejmelka. He'll hold for the save. 15-27 now left in the second. Chicago just playing great overall. This is not, I'll be honest, this is not what I was expecting to see out of the Chicago team, but I'm pleasantly surprised. Yeah, both teams just great bounce off the back of the glass, intentional or not. It's a great bounce right into the front, and then Chicago digging away at it, not giving up on that play. Left side draw in the Utah end. If we cut away from Vejmelka, there we go. It will be Stenlin and somebody for Chicago. Can't see the numbers. Foligno, that will be the other player for Chicago on the draw. Dropped a second time, went back by Chicago, kept in the left side point by Allen, around to Del Mastro. Deep with it now, Chicago takes a bounce into the middle of the zone, nobody there but Utah. Schmaltz cutting up and out with it. Moving up the left side with speed, Del Mastro poking this one around. Will end up back to Allen, right side corner of his own zone. Keller fighting to keep this one in. Instead, it'll take a couple bounces out. Utah back in neutral ice with it. Here's Sergachev. Quick pass up to Keller. Cooley almost offsides there, but he's not. Soderblom will slow this one behind his own net. Gets it around to Del Mastro, and Chicago will clear this one out of their own end. Utah looking for another entry here, trying to chip to Cooley this time. Takes a bounce in front. That one poke checked away, but I don't think Schmaltz would have gotten to it first in time anyway. Cooley trying to battle for it. Del Mastro able to poke that one away. Keller will keep this one in the line, throws this one to the right side boards to the left side boards for Cooley. Del Mastro again, just a great shift by him defensively. Foligno will get to it, trying to ring this one around. Schmaltz not able to grab that. Jersey fighting to keep this one in, throws it to the line. Here's Mikheyev trying to cut around Mata. He will, looks for the backhand, saved by Vejmelka. Great effort there by Mikheyev to move that one up with speed. Beats Mata, just not able to get that one past Vejmelka. Bukestad now dancing in the left side corner with it. Can't do much. It'll take a bounce down to the left side point. Kept in the line by Mata. Throws this one in the net. That one saved away by Soderblom. Chicago looking to clear, and they will. Back up the other way. It's Slaggert. Pressuring this one along the right side boards. Mata will get to it first. Finds Jersey left side corner. 13:45 left in the second now. Stenlin pushes this one in left side corner. Both teams trying to dig away at it. Stenlin can't quite push back the line on the first attempt. Will on the second. Over to Marino. Throws this one at the net. That one saved away. Tries to get it back to Bukestad. That one taken away. Bedard pressures him, not able to grab that puck as much as he'd like. Round to Kerfoot. Too much pressure. He'll try and dump this one behind the net. Nobody there but Chicago. Tries to get this one around to Doc. It'll take a couple bounces. Jones looks to clear, not able to. Although Utah, in an attempt to push this one in, hits a Chicago body, and they'll clear this one out on that attempt. Dump back behind the net for Vejmelka. Marino will get to it first. 13 minutes left in the second now. Shots in 10-7 in favor of Utah. Utah passing around their own zone. Quick pass up to Krause, back on the ice. Looks healthy, so that's good to see. Krause pushes this one back down to Kessling, right side point. Throws this one at the net. That one bounces wide. Cole racing up to grab it. Ultimately, Chicago will have enough of it, and they'll clear this one all the way down for the... No, won't be an icing. Figured it was going to be. Tied up along the left side board. Chicago takes this one away. Maroon in front, trying to dangle with it. Won't be able to. Utah can't quite clear on the first attempt. Will on the second. Here's Carcone cutting up the right side boards. He's got Gunther in the middle. Circles back because he has no help or has no opportunity. Shot that one saved away by Soderblom. Takes a bounce all the way back down to the Utah end. And that time, it will be an icing on Chicago. 12-12 left in the second now. Great efforts all around. Mikheyev, firstly, that beautiful effort to just cut around Mata, gets to the front of the net, looks for the backhand, almost has it. If he goes a little wider out, I think he might have. But ultimately, that one pad saved away by Vejmelka. And then Utah up the other way. Several great chances, just not able to finish on anything. Left side draw, Chicago end will be Hayton and Kurashev on the draw. This one pushed the left side corner. Chicago looking to clear, and they will all the way down. A little too well, though. That one, another icing on them. 12:05 now left in the second. Shots sitting 11-4 in favor of Utah, breaking that down into the second. 3-2 Utah. We'll have to see here if Utah needs to get something going. They have the offensive pressure. Just Chicago playing great defensively, just not been able to break them so far. Chicago looking for a clear, won't be able to. Kept in by Utah, looking for a tip by Carcone. That one goes wide. Battling for it along the right side boards. Maroon looking to grab this one out. Hayton will poke it in just for a second, and this one chipped the other way by Chicago. Vejmelka behind his own net with it, finds him out on the right side corner. Smith back for pressure. He'll finally go for a change. Donato the one back now. Hayton cutting up out of his own zone. Enters right side. Nazar and Allen. Great pressure there to prevent him from really getting in. He's forced to dump that one around instead. Back up the other way. I believe Slaggert there. The one to force this one to the right side corner. Nope. Del Mastro, the 1-2. Doesn't matter. Sergachev back in control with it. Chips this one up to Keller. He'll drop this one at the line for Schmaltz. Trying to find that one back to Keller. Takes a couple bounces, but Chicago able to regain control, and they'll clear. Marino finds Sergachev back in his own end. Pass up to Keller, right side. Finds Cooley in the middle. Takes a shot. That one poke checked away by Allen. Gets a stick on it just in time. Great effort from him. Chicago cuts in through neutral ice. They'll dump this one right side corner. Bertuzzi trying to get to it. Marino will first. Long pass up to Cooley. Just goes a little wide. Doesn't try and reach for that one. Jones moving this one around the zone. Teravainen now with it. Chipped up through neutral ice. They'll end up right side corner. Sergachev trying to get to it first. Although Mikheyev with pressure. Bukestad looking to clear this one down. Take a couple bounces to the Chicago line where they will regain control. Jones with it. The lone goal scorer tonight. 10:20 left in the second now. Rings this one to the left side corner. Utah back with the control. Trying to fling this one to Bukestad. Take a couple bounces. He'll get to it first. Too deep for a shot. Tries to throw it in front. That one taken away by Mikheyev. Dump back down to neutralize Chicago. Up the other end. It's Foligno. Throws this one from an angle. Saved away by Vejmelka. Utah looking for an answer here. Bukestad up the other way. He's got Kerfoot with him now. Both teams digging for it in the left side corner. Still digging away at it. Del Mastro in the scrum. Allen as well. Finally breaks free down the left side boards. Mikheyev will get to it first. Cleared out to the Utah end. Won't have the legs for an icing. Stenlund gets to it first. Utah moving back up through neutral ice. Here's Kerfoot with it. Cutting up in the slot. Big shot from the right side. Doan with a rebound opportunity. Just Knocked down, facing the wrong way, couldn't find anything there. Dumped all the way down by Chicago. That one, another icing. 9:24 left in the second now. Utah answering back when they need to, but Chicago, great rushes up the other way. Really putting that pressure on Utah. They have the lead and they're not sitting back with it. They understand, hey, Utah's not playing the best offensively. We're playing extremely well defensively tonight. If we can clear it out, maybe get some dumps. Preferably, you don't want as many icings as they're taking, but however, they've handled them well, so if it works, it works. Left side draw kept in by Utah. Doan throws one looking for a tip, takes a bounce just wide. McBain looking for one, hits the side of the net. Soderblom likely would have had that one anyway. Back up the other way, Chicago, past the Bedard. That one goes a little wide. Utah will take it back. Doan chips this one back over to Krause, right side. Throws this one, not able to be gloved down, but saved by Soderblom. Chipped out to neutralize for Schmaltz, I believe. Or no, for Mata. Chips this one to McBain. Trying to claim a penalty there, and he will. Bedard clearly frustrated. That one was called. Bedard, 2 minutes to the box for hooking against McBain. See on a quick little replay here. Yeah, he kind of swings at the arms. McBain does kind of sell that one a bit. So Utah catches a lucky break, although see how lucky they are on their fourth power play attempt of the night. As we stand, Chicago still up 1-0, 8:53 left to play in the second. Listening to Chicago, Utah, and Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. We'll be back after the short commercial break. .853 left to play in the second. Utah back to the power play. Bedard taking a 2-minute hooking against McBain. We'll see if this is the attempt that Utah finally gets something going on the power play. Granted, during the Vancouver game, it did take 4 power plays for them to get something going, although they weren't playing as great defensively on the penalty kill as Chicago has tonight. So I think if Utah wants to get that momentum back in their favor, this is the chance to do it. Left side draw kept in by Sergachev. Back over to Gunther, trying to cut in. Throws this one at the net. That one saved by Soderblom. 8:45 left in the second now. 1:52 on the power play. Yeah, if Utah's going to want that momentum back in their favor, which they have not had for the majority of this game, I mean, preferably you do it on the first or second power play. If it takes till 4, I guess it takes till 4. Bottom line, they're going to want to keep this one in the zone. They've had problems with that over the last 2 where they've failed to keep it in, and then, Chicago, that penalty kill just keeps that out for the majority of the time. Left side draw, one back by Utah. Schmaltz skating the zone with it. Great play there by Hayton. He'll push this one back to the line. Keller trying to cut in with it. Dancing at the right side, back down to Sergachev at the line. Keller, a big shot. That one saved away. Hayton trying to grab a rebound there. He'll pick it up and push this one back to Keller at the right side point. Couple quick passes. Hayton deep with it. Trying to find Schmaltz in front. Back to Hayton. Now Keller. Sergachev. Gunther a shot. That one blocked away by Soderblom. Keller picks this one up along the right side boards. Hayton deep. Back to Keller. Sergachev down in the slot with it. Moves up. Waits. Takes the shot. That one, I believe, hits a body of a Chicago player there, and that one ends up into the netting out of play. 8 minutes exactly left in the second. Now a minute 07 left in the Utah power play. That is more what we want to see from Utah. Great effort, moving the puck around quickly, digging for it in front of the net. Most importantly, keeping it in the zone, fighting to keep it in, not just letting the pass go wide and then, hey, Chicago grabs it and they've dumped it, and then, hey, we can't get back in. Left side draw. It'll be Nazar and Hayton on the draw. Puck drop eventually. Hayton jumps on that one, so we'll do it a second time. There we go. Puck finally dropped this one back by Chicago. They'll dump it around to the right side boards. Hayton fighting to keep this one in. It'll end up to Keller, digging for it along the right side point. Takes a bounce. Nazar not able to grab too much control of it. They'll go on the second attempt here, and that one dumped into the Utah end, this time from neutralized, so a little better for Utah. 47 seconds left in the Utah power play now. Dump back for Schmaltz. This will be the test. If they can get back in and keep it in. Keller, left side, throws this one at the net. That one's saved by Soderblom. And he'll hold for the save. We'll see if that was the best decision. Because now Utah has the power play, or not the power play, has the face-off opportunity. If they can win that one, keep control in, maybe that's what they need. You know, because Chicago playing great on the penalty kill, keeping it out of the zone once it's exited. Second power play unit out there for Utah. Cooley on the draw. And Nazar, one back by Cooley. Dursey at the line, back to Cooley. Back to Dursey, but out of the zone with it just barely. Couldn't keep that one in. 30 seconds left in the Utah power play. Cooley trying to cut up the left side with speed. Catches an edge. Keeps control of the puck, though. Back down to Dursey. Keeps it in this time. Throws this one at the net. That one blockered away. Cooley looking to regain control. Instead kept away from Nazar. Dumped all the way back down in the Utah zone. 8 seconds looking for a bad pass there by Nazar. Back up the other way. That one saved in front by Vejmelka. Bad pass by Dursey. Nazar the one to steal that. Nazar's not playing for Utah last I checked. So that should be the end of the power play. Not that second clear wasn't. But Nazar, great play. Great awareness there to pick off that pass and just move up the other way. He knows not a lot of time left on the power play, so why not just throw it at the net? Now you have that zone. Yes, you're 4-on-5, but for only like a few seconds, or for 4 seconds. So great there. Great play there by Nazar. Right side draw, one back by Utah. That power play killed off. Kerfoot back in his own zone. Chips this one around to Marino. He'll dump it around the left side boards. Del Mastro trying to prevent it from getting down the boards, and eventually it will find Model looking for a tip in front. It's Bukestad, and back up the other way, Chicago comes. Bedard trying to cut through the middle. Too much pressure. He'll pass this one across, looking for a long pass over to Slager. That one just barely goes wide. Utah has a little bit of trouble getting this one out of their zone, tied up in neutral ice. Tied up right in front of the penalty boxes. Bukestad and Kerfoot trying to dig this one away. Donato and Del Mastro there for Chicago. Eventually, Kerfoot will get this one around to Marino, ringing this one around. Del Mastro will get to it first, left side corner, pushing it back right. For Allen, looking to clear it up to Donato. He will. Here's Bedard now with it. Cutting in over the line, left side, looks to kind of push that one around, but whiffs on the puck entirely, so Utah back in control a little closer in their zone than they'd like. 5:50 left in the second now. Shot sitting 16-9 in favor of Utah. Dumped in quickly by Chicago. Kesselring trying to grab it around the left side boards. Back to Kurashev now. Looking for a centering feed there. That one saved. Kurashev looking for a rebound. Won't find it. Kesselring able to pick that one up before a wraparound is attempted. Play blown dead there. Carcone looks like heading to the box, although we'll find out after commercial for sure, or if the app wants to load. Yes, Chicago back to the power play now. See if they can go 2 for 2 tonight and extend that lead, or if Utah able to pull one out and keep this a 1-goal game. Listening to Chicago, Utah, and Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. Be back after the short commercial break. 5:32. Chicago back to the power play. Carcone taking 2-minute cross-checking against Kurashev. Chicago with the only goal tonight on the power play. Jones, a beautiful shot. We'll see if he can do it again, or if the Utah penalty kill can do what they've been known to do. They've had a sneakily good penalty kill this whole season. Just bad play there from, I don't remember who it was. I believe it was McBain cutting across to protect Bedard, but ultimately leaves that left side circle open. We'll see what happens. Left side draw, one back by Chicago. Jones will give this one across to Bedard. Deep now with it. Chicago looking for something. Back down to Jones at the line. Snapped across to Bedard. Dancing at that left side with it. He'll pass this one deep. Back to Bedard. Back to Jones. Jones trying to cut up with it. Big pass in front by Donato. That one saved away by Vejmelka, just barely racing around as Jones to keep control of it. Back down the line for Bedard. Jones back up to Teravainen now. Donato looking for one right at the line. Won't find it. Bedard will keep it in instead. Wrapping around the zone with it. Dropping this one for Teravainen. Moving the slot. Jones a big shot. That one hits a stick there, I believe, of Kerfoot and bounces up to the glass, but stays in play. Stenlund able to grab this one in the left side corner. He'll dump it all the way around in the Chicago end. 1 minute left in the Chicago power play. 4.5 left in the second. Jones will dump this one back for Bedard in his own end. Moving up right side, forced to ring this one around. Vejmelka, he'll slow, not as much as he'd like, but ends up back to Utah, looking to clear, but kept in line by Vlasic, I believe. Here's Donato with it. Quick pass around to Bedard. Back down the line, yes, for Vlasic. Back to him now. Bedard, right side, passes this one deep for Donato, looking for one in close. That one, Vejmelka reaching out to save. He'll hold, and we get a little chippy in front. Hayton and Donato going at it. Ultimately, that one's split up by the refs. 4 minutes exactly left in the second. 28 left on the Chicago power play. Shots sitting 16-12 in favor of Utah. Really like the passing I've seen from Chicago so far on this power play. They're moving it down right at the line quickly, and then Donato really trying to fight and grab something in front, seeing if maybe they can catch Vejmelka off a post somewhere, maybe grab a lucky bounce off maybe a Utah player, wrong place, wrong time, just catch an odd bounce, push that lead even further. Right side draw, one back by Utah. They'll dump this one all the way on net for Soderblom. Left for Vlasic. He's got Kurashev with him. He'll chip this one up to Nazar. Getting this one across the line for Smith. Dumps in, takes a bounce off the boards. Chicago will keep this one in the line, throws it towards the net. Vejmelka saves it, but not able to be gloved down. Another chip away by Kurashev, and this one will be held for the save. 6 seconds left in the Chicago power play, so this one should be killed off unless they can win it off the face-off and blast one towards the net. Just another unfortunate bounce for Utah, pretty much right to the front of the net after it takes a bounce behind the boards. Although they're able to stop just enough of it. Maroon with the big shot from the point there. As he immediately gets on and I believe changes. But regardless, Kurashev, great effort by him to dig in and try and grab one in close. Left side draw, Utah zone. Smith able to grab this one away, looking for one in close. Couple saves there. Both teams still digging away at it. And Vejmelka will hold for the save. That penalty killed off for Utah. 3.5 left in the second now. Great effort by Chicago in close. Just they do not give up on the play. Utah's got to try and prevent them from getting in that close. And I mean, whether you put that on Vejmelka for not holding those pucks down or Utah for letting them get in, we'll have to see what happens through the rest of the game or maybe even the rest of this second. As it stands, 3.5 left in the second. Chicago's still up 1. You're listening to Chicago, Utah on Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. We'll be back after the short commercial break. 3.5 left in the second. Utah still down 1, able to successfully kill off that power play attempt by Chicago. But still, they need to get something going. I'm not sure at this point what you need if you're Utah. I guess just, I mean, they're getting the shots on net, maybe just more offensive pressure. They are skating 4-on-4. Jersey 2 minutes for an unsportsmanlike against Smith. And I assume Smith a unsportsmanlike for the same. Although we'll have to see once the app updates. Regardless, we skate 4 for the next 2. Bedard Stenlund left side draw in the Utah zone. Bedard switched out, kicked out of the dot. That one won around by McKayev, but Utah will keep control. Here's Cooley trying to cut up through open ice. He'll try and cut through both defenders there, able to keep control of it. Back down to the right side point. Now Sergachev with it. He'll dump this one out of the zone. Moving back to neutral ice, gives this one back to Cooley. He's got Keller with him at the right side, cuts left. Circling back down the left side point. Just dancing all over the zone with it. Great pressure attempt by Murphy there to poke that puck off him. Keller will steal that pass away in the middle, though. Back to Cooley. Sergachev now with it. Right side or left side point. Throws it on the net looking for a tip. Soderblom doesn't know where that one ends up, but no Utah players there to grab. Murphy cutting up out of the zone with it. Entering in left side Utah. Minute 11 on the, at least they'll try to, that one offsides. A minute 11 left in the 4-on-4. And still no update against what Craig Smith did, but we'll assume it's an unsportsmanlike because I can't imagine what else it would have been in that situation. 2:41 left in the second. Shots now sitting 16-15 in favor of Chicago. Second specifically, 11-8 Chicago. Down at the red line with it. Pass across to Nazar. Can't quite control that puck. Utah able to take that one away. Mata, with a little help from Kesselring. He'll try and launch this one out of the zone. Jones will take it back through neutral ice. Mata skating a little far. Jones able to get deep. Pushing this one back down the line for Martinez. Getting across the left side. Throws this one to the net. That one saved away. Jones, he'll push this one to the right side boards. Kept in by Nazar. Round 2, Teravainen down to the point. Chicago circling the zone with it. Teravainen throws this one to the net. Bounces a little wide. Vejmelka trying to grab it out of the air. Won't be able to. 29 seconds left in the 4-on-4 now. Gunther entering in left side. Forced to move out to neutralize as that one ends up out of the zone. Drops this one for Sergachev. Cutting in right side. He's got Gunther left with him, but he's got all 4 Chicago players out to contend with. Marino now left side. Back to Gunther. Trying to get it back to him. Catches a little bit of Teravainen. Will take a bounce behind the Chicago net. Kept in the zone, though. Quick pass in front. Shot. That one saved right by Soderblom. Hayton, the one there. Or they keep that one in play. Soderblom able to throw that one out just in time before it's called. The 4-on-4 killed off. Chicago trying to get an entry. Poke checked away by Utah. Here's Carcone back up the other way with speed. Throws this one at the net. Soderblom saves, and this time he'll hold. And yes, can confirm it was an unsportsmanlike against Smith and Jersey, both with unsportsmanlike against each other. Neither team able to score on the 4-on-4. Carcone, great effort, poke checks that pass out of the passing lane and just takes that one up the other way. Throws that at the net. Great save by Soderblom as well. He had Doan coming up with him just a little further back, so not able to get that pass across as well as he'd like or at all. Minute 13 left in the second. Left side draw, Chicago end. Utah seeing if they can get something big in this last minute here. It'll be Hayton. Or nope, it'll be maybe both players kicked out. It'll be Krause and Doc now on the draw. Tied up the dot, neither team grabbing it. Eventually ends up along the left side boards. Both digging away at it. Doan trying to get this to the middle. Kept in by Cole. Throws this one to the right side. Knocked down by Krause right on net, but that one saved away by Soderblom. He has plenty of time to see that one. I think Krause is more trying to keep that one from bouncing all the way around than chipping that one on net. Regardless, it's up, and there's still always a chance, but Soderblom able to keep this a 1-0 game. Minute 02 left in the second. I believe it'll be a right side draw this time. And it will be. Right side draw, Chicago zone. Once we cut away from Soderblom. Eventually. Oh, good. Now we get to see Keller. That's not helpful either. There we go. It'll be Stenlund and Donato on the draw. Tied at the dot. Keller racing in to poke that one away. Stenlund will push back the line. Kesselring throws this one at the net, blocked away by Soderblom. Kept alive, though. Foligno fighting for it in the left side corner. He's got Schmaltz to contend with. Keller passes Schmaltz. That one in front, but goes wide. Kept in by Stenlund. Kesselring, another one. Keller barely squeaks that one in. What an effort in close. Kesselring throws this one to the front. Keller able to catch the rebound, and that one couldn't have gone in by much. Much like the Vancouver game, it only took 20 shots, but finally, Utah on the board. Schmaltz with the effort in close. That one bounces around. Cooley pushes one back to Kesselring. And then, hits a body in front, lands right to Keller, and then squeaks that one by Soderblom. See on the replay. I hope they show that one. There it is. It hits Murphy and just drops right to his stick. Looks like it goes under the arm of Soderblom. Yeah, just barely squeaks by him. Opening draw, one back by Chicago, but dumped around for an icing. Keller, his 21st of the season. Kesselring and Cooley with the assists, their 17th and 29th, respectively. 37.2 left in the second. Utah barely ties this one up before the period ends. Maybe this is what they needed. They get one on the board, especially before the end of the period. You did not want to go into the third down one. Left side draw, Chicago end, one back by Utah. Mata looking to throw this one. That one saved away by Utah, or saved away by Chicago. Wouldn't make sense if Utah was saving themselves. Chicago trying to chip this one into the Utah zone. They'll put it in right side. Nobody there to grab it, though. Jersey behind his own net with it. Pressured by Foligno. Vejmelka will grab it, looking to push this one to left side corner. Both teams will end up making it go to the right side instead. Throwing this one to the front. Doan able to knock it out. Seth Jones back in his own zone. 4 seconds. He'll just double back behind his own net. And that will be the end of the second. Final shots at the end of the second, sitting 21-16 in favor of Utah, breaking that down by period. 22-16, as it just updates right in front of my eyes. 8-5 in the first for Utah, 14-11 for Utah in the second. And we'll see if the assists maybe get updated on that Keller goal. So now they've disappeared. We'll have to see if that's just the app being stupid or if something changes. Regardless, that's a problem for the third. As it stands now, Chicago 1, Utah 1. Listening to Chicago, Utah, and Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. See you back in about 15 for the third. Welcome back. We are ready to start the third period, tied at 1. Some stats before we head into the third. Shots currently sitting 22-16 in favor of Utah. Broken down, that's 8-5 in the first Utah, 14-11 Utah in the second. Face-off sitting 28-16 in favor of Utah. Chicago 1 for 2 on the power play tonight. Utah an abysmal 0 for 4. Hits sitting 19-18 in favor of Chicago, and block shots 12-5 in favor of Chicago. So that does not surprise me in the slightest. The defensive game from Chicago has been phenomenal tonight. Utah getting lucky, scoring their goal with about, 40 seconds left? Something about that. 44 seconds left in the second. Just squeaking that one by Soderblom. So if you're Chicago, you just get back in the rhythm you had, play that great defensive game, and put that pressure back on Utah offensively. If you're Utah, you need to build on that momentum you gained from the second. Hopefully, you put that goal in, you tie it up. Maybe you shoot down some of that momentum Chicago had moving through most of the game. Because while Utah has been controlling, or has been overall the better team, I wouldn't feel they're controlling the game so far. I feel that it's been mostly Chicago's game, but Utah hopefully picking it up with that late goal, carrying that into the third, maybe get a quick one, put that momentum and that pressure, that momentum back to you and that pressure right back on Chicago. Opening draw tied up for just a second, one back by Utah. Trying to chip this up into the left side. They'll cut into the middle. McBain throwing this one in the net, looking for a quick rebound is Dillon. That one poke checked away. McBain will pick it up along the boards, trying to get this one down. Said he'll keep it. Pressured by Teravainen. He'll keep control of the puck, though, on the right side corner, pushing this one back down the line for Dursey. Throwing this one in the net, looking for a tip. Both teams digging away at it. Ultimately, it bounces free to Foligno. Here they come back up the other way. It's Mikheyev with it. Down at the right side point, too much pressure. He'll dump it around left side, trying to get it to Foligno. Foligno forced to dump this one around. Model will grab it in the right side corner. Chicago goes for a change. Hayton spinning in that left side corner. Some pressure coming in by Chicago. It'll be dumped into the neutral zone. Carcone can't quite get to it first. Couple players sliding through neutral ice there. Chicago keeps control, looking for a long pass up to Bedard, I believe. Yes, it will be him. Finding Nazar back down to the point for Vlasic. Pass across, shot that one on net for Vejmelka. He'll just poke that one away. I believe Murphy, the one with the shot there. Bedard trying to set something up in front. Instead, it'll take a bounce to the left side corner. Ends up to Carcone and back up the other way. Utah comes. That one would have been an offsides. Won't be that time. Hayton throws to the net. That one goes wide. Gunther looking for the rebound. Throws it towards the net as well. Hits a couple bodies. Bounces wide. Doesn't even find Soderblom. Bounces around. Keller able to keep this one in. Rings it around to Kessler and right side with it. Drop down to Cooley. Throws this one to the net. Soderblom with the save. Had the initial save, but dropped that one right in front of him. But nobody there to pressure for it, so he picks up the save and holds. Utah definitely coming out swinging in these first few minutes. This is perfect. This is exactly what you want to see from the Utah team at this point. You had that late goal. Now the pressure's on. You cannot let that be just a fluke goal that went in. You have to build on that momentum, and they have done that in spades so far in these first few minutes. Schmaltz Donato, right side draw, Chicago zone, one back by Utah. Keller trying to set something up in front, but too much pressure on him. Back to him, looking to throw this one at the net, goes wide. Cole will throw this one in the net. That one saved away by Soderblom. Picked up by Cooley, dancing to the right side, drops this one back to Kesselring, throws it to the front. Schmaltz, I believe, the one to actually stop that one. Chicago, long pass up. Slager trying to grab that one away, but Utah will poke it away from him instead. Kesselring getting this one across to Cole, I believe, right side corner, chipping this one deep for Cooley. He'll get to it first, pressured off the puck by Martinez, though. Jones able to push this one out of the zone, ends up back to the Utah, and it's Dursey with it now. Slaggert with pressure, 17:40 left in the third. Trying to get a pass up through neutral ice, hits a Utah body. Chicago back in control with it now. Trying to get a pass up, but taken away by Utah into neutral ice. Here's Dursey back with it. Passing this one across left side. Both teams digging away at it. Land up to Bukestad. Back down the line for Dursey. Throws this one to the net, looking for a tip. Won't find it. Soderblom with the save. Nobody knows where it ends up. Utah has control still. Maroon will get to it in the left side corner first, looking to clear. Smith will on the second attempt there, looking for pass up to Kurashev. Big hit there by Stenlin. Make sure Kurashev's all right. He was a little shaken up after that one, but he's off the ice all good. Utah back in their own zone now. Long pass up through neutral ice. That one poke checked away, not able to have control. Dumped right back to the Utah blue line. Marino to grab. Left back for Mata. Back to Marino now. Back to Mata in his own zone. Chips this one up right side. Trying to poke this one in is McBain. They call this one dead. I believe it bounced up and hit the top of the glass there. Yeah, that's likely all that was. It wasn't a big hit on that Stenlin one. Kurashev just kind of runs into Stenlin. Stenlin all battling for that puck, stops, and Kurashev just pretty much runs into the little above his shoulder. So not even an intentional hit there by Stenlin, but hey, he'll take it. 16:33, right side outside the Chicago zone. They'll win it back. Here's Martinez with it. He'll launch this one in. He'll take a run around the boards. He'll end up to Marino, I believe. Yes, it would have been him. Sergachev now with it, cutting up out of the zone. Here's Hayton now. Chips this one across left side, thrown towards the net, looking for a quick little bounce by Hayton. Won't find it. Take bounce to the middle instead for Foligno. Run around to Martinez. Flings this one all the way down to center ice. Chicago will push it in. Foligno racing for it first, but Vejmelka, he'll get it out and away to the right side corner. Barely kept in at the line. Chicago will keep this one in, trying to cut into the net. That one saved away by Vejmelka. Rebound by Bertuzzi, trying to get it back to, not Bedard, Nazer, the one there. Chipped around the left side boards. Utah able to clear this one down to the Chicago blue line. Doesn't have the legs for an icing. Vlasic able to pick it up. Cooley with pressure. He'll dump this to the left side boards. Kept in by Utah, though. Trying to cut in front is Keller, looking for a tip by Cooley. Bounces just wide. Utah looking to get reset up, trying to get a pass over to Keller, but hits a Chicago body there. Bounces just wide. Cooley back in his own zone. Gives this one across to Kesselring. Chipped wide for Keller. Goes a little far. Del Mastro able to pressure him off the puck there. He'll ring it around the boards. Tied up along right side. Slager able to pick this one away. Drop back for Vlasic. Pressure there from Utah. Still tied up in that right side corner. Vlasic able to get this one around to Del Mastro. 14:50 left in the third. Still tied at 1. Trying to cut through neutral ice. Utah will dump it right back in. Chicago able to grab it as there's no pressure from Utah there. Doc will push this one into the Utah end. Vejmelka to hold behind the net. Mata able to get to it first. Quick pass up. Utah back up the other way. It's McBain cutting up the left side with speed. Too much pressure to try and throw this one in front. Kerfoot able to grab it anyway. Circling that left side, looking for a pass over to McBain, but hits the stick of Bukestad and bounces up into the netting instead. 14:22 now left in the third. That Keller attempt from a few minutes ago, great. Had Cooley in front, just could not get that stick on it. Great effort there by Murphy, I believe, the one to get in the way of it. Utah inches away from taking the lead late. Well, not late in the third here. There's still 14 to play, so early in the third then. Left side draw, Chicago end. 1 at the line, it'll take a bounce, or 1 at the dot, it'll take a bounce back to the line though. Utah trying to dump it around. Del Mastro looking to clear, kept in the line by Utah, thrown towards the net. Soderblom push this one to the left side corner. Del Mastro around to Allen. Trying to chip this one around. Dursey will keep it in. Now Doan with it. Flings it up over Kurashev pretty much. Kept in, dumps it deep left side. Del Mastro there to pick it away though. Maroon trying to cut out of the zone with it. Taken right back away by Utah. Krause drops this one back for Doan. Puts it around deep for McBain. Can't hold that pass though. It'll end up to Allen in the left side corner first. Chicago trying to fight for it and neutralize. So they'll dump it to the left side corner. Mata will get to it first. Jersey trying to chip this one up through neutral ice. Not able to on the first attempt. Utah will keep control though. Gunther forced to dump this one to the right side corner. Chicago looking to move it right back out. Foligno up to Teravainen. Teravainen cutting in the zone. Will pass this across. Now Foligno with it. Trying to get a backhand shot. Won't be able to. Kesselring, great defensive pressure there. Push back down the line. Here's Martinez with it. Pass in front for Mikheyev. He'll throw this one in the net. That one blocked away by Vejmelka. Kept in play, though. Run around to the left side corner. 12:58 left in the third now. Utah able to get enough control, dumping it all the way back down. Carconi will get to it first, no icing. Run around to Schmaltz. Trying to cut in front with it, not able to. Chicago will take this one away. Jones, quick pass the line, takes a bounce off the back of the net, though, so Utah has control just for a second. Barely kept in by Sergachev. Run around the boards to Schmaltz. Right side with it. A lot of pressure there by Del Mastro. Or by Bedard. Schmaltz in front trying to throw that one to the net. That one just bounces up a little bit. Trying to get another pass over to Cooley. That one saved away by Chicago. That's two chances now Keller has had trying to put one to Cooley. Speaking to him, back up the other way, right side. Finds Keller. That one poke checked out of the zone by Chicago. Here's Bedard back up the other way. Pressured by Keller, able to get that one away from him. Utah up the other way again. Chipped in right side corner, will end up to Bukestad. It will be a delayed penalty on Chicago. Drop back, and there's the call, the whistle. That's the word I'm looking for. So Utah with their fifth power play of the night. Only good news if you're Chicago, they haven't done anything with the first four. We'll see here. Vlasic taking a 2-minute roughing against Bukestad. 11:56 left in the third. We'll see if Utah can do anything on this power play. Maybe this is what they need to take the lead. Listening to Chicago, Utah, and Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. We'll be back after the first commercial break. After the first commercial break, we're in the third. The short commercial. 11:56 left in the third. Utah back to the power play. Vlasic, the 2-minute roughing call against Bukestad. We'll see here if Utah can do anything on their fifth power play of the night. Unsuccessful in the first four. The fourth one looking better than the first three, but we'll see what happens. Left side draw in the Chicago zone, one back by Utah. Trying to push that one back the line, barely kept in by Sergachev. We'll get this one over to Gunther. Long pass across to Cooley, or to Keller. Kept in by Sergachev. Big shot from Gunther right into the glove of Soderblom. He'll hold for the save. 11:42 left in the third now. 1:46 left in the Utah power play. This is the type of speed on this power play we should be seeing, and the type of pressure. Excellent effort to keep that one in at the line, firstly, because they knew if that bounces out, we're going to have trouble putting it in again. Let's prevent that from happening entirely. Left side draw, Chicago zone is again. Jones trying to jump this one around to Martinez, looking to clear. Both teams fighting for it. Bounces back down the line. Keller now right side with it. Sergachev in the slot. Tries to look for a tip in front by Schmaltz. Won't find it. Keller will keep it in along right side boards. Sergachev now back with it. Throws this one to the net. Looking for a couple rebounds there. Both saved by Soderblom. Bounces in front. Jones able to throw this one all the way back down to the Utah and Vejmelka. He'll push this one out to the line. Sergachev with it. Trying to chip this one up to Keller. Goes a little wide. Gunther will grab it instead. Dumping this one all the way back to Schmaltz at the Utah blue line. Now Keller left side with it. Dumps this one in deep. It'll end up behind the net. Martinez will get to it first. Quick pass across to Jones. It looked like he'll be able to clear that one all the way down. 1 minute left in the Utah power play. 10:55 left in the third. It'll be Dursey behind his own net. Drops this one back for Keller. Keller up over the red line, cuts in the middle, drops this one across to Doan. Tries to move this back down the line for Carcone. Great pressure there by Chicago. Won't be able to. Taken away by Krause. Around to Keller right side, pushing this one right down to Dursey at the right side point. Quick pass across, back now to Keller. Looking for a long pass across. Shot towards the net. That one saved away. Carcone, the one with the effort there. Dursey, back to Carcone, back to Dursey, left side point. Now Keller, right side point with it. Cuts up to the right side dot. Back down to Dursey. 15 seconds left in the power play. Keller now back with it. Keller, long pass across, looking for a quick chip in front. Both teams away. Hits the post, I believe. Bounces back down to the right side point. Barely kept in by Carcone. Quick pass across for Dursey. Throws this one on the net, saved, and that penalty is killed off. Kept in the zone, though, by Utah still. Carcone, quick pass across. Now Doan down on the slot with throws one to the net. Bounces just wide up into the netting. 9:46 left in the third. What an amazing effort on that power play. We'll have to see on the replay after commercial how close that was to going in. As it stands, you're listening to Chicago, Utah, and Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. We'll be back after the short commercial break. .946 left in the third. Utah with several great chances. We'll see on the replay here on that last power play. I hope this is the one. I think it is. Keller dancing at the right side with it. Yeah, that's the one. Thrown in front. Yep, Doan a post away from taking the lead. See on the closer slow-mo replay here. Or we won't. Cut away from it before we can get there. All right, but Doan, the one almost to tie this game up. All Utah so far in this third. Left side draw, Chicago zone. Drop back off the face-off win right to Sergachev. Loses track of the puck, though, so that one cleared back to neutral ice. Utah looking to push this one back in quickly. Takes a bounce back the other way. Here's Nazar with it. Trying to cut in with it. Takes a bounce back to neutral ice, though. Chicago forced to ring this one around. Will end up left side boards. Marino back to Sergachev. Right back to Marino as he has some pressure on him. Trying to chip this one up. Del Mastro able to take this one away, looking to clear it out. Kept in by Kerfoot, though. Effort from Bukestad to attempt to keep that one in. Unsuccessful. Marino back in his own zone. Now Sergachev with it. Up to Bukestad. Chipped across to Kerfoot, entering right side of the Chicago zone. Stenlund fighting for it right side corner. Pushed down along right side boards. Kerfoot able to grab it. Quick pass in front to Bukestad. A quick shot on net. That one saved away by Soderblom. 8:54 now left in the third. Shots sitting 32-19 in favor of Utah. Looking at the third specifically, 10-3 Utah. It has been all Utah offense so far, which is exactly what they needed. They had that late goal, and then they built on that pressure, just have not been able to take that lead yet. 8:54 left in the third. Right side draw, Chicago zone will be Schmaltz and Donato. If we can drop the puck. There we go. One back by Utah. Keller cutting in to grab it. He'll drop this one back to Kelsprang. Throws this one to the net. Hits a stick and bounces up into the netting. 8:50 now left in the third. It'll be right side draw again. Once we cut away from Soderblom. Eventually. There we go. Same two players again on the draw. This time one back by Donato. Chicago looking to clear. They'll dump this one all the way back down. This time an icing. So back to the Chicago zone we go again. 8:44 this time left on the clock. Utah's got to take advantage here. They have the icing. They've already dropped this one twice. Plus, in the third, it's been all Utah this third. They've got to keep this pressure up on Chicago because they've proven they've been playing good defensively. If they let them get back into that rhythm, maybe that puck comes back up the other way, and once again, Chicago with the lead. Left side draw this time, one back by Utah, dropped to Cole, shoots this one to the net. That one saved away by Soderblom, trying to poke this one back to Cole. They'll get to him, moving up the left side with speed, trying to draw a trip there, unsuccessful. Chicago looking to clear it up out of their zone. They will. Slaggert up the other way. He's got Donato with him along the left side boards. Donato now with it, throws one to an angle. That one hits the side of the net. Smith, I believe, or not Smith, Doc trying to fight for it. It'll be Kesselring that comes away with it down the left side boards of the Utah zone. Exits out, forced to dump this one in right side. Doesn't get very deep with it, though. Will on the second attempt. Ends up around to Murphy, left side boards. Chicago dump this one back in quickly. Ends up on net for Vejmelka. He'll leave it for Dursey. 8 minutes left in the third. Dursey, long pass up. Looking for a shot from an angle there. Won't find it. It'll be Doan that picks it up along the right side boards. Quick pass in front there for Krause. Backhand, and it's in. Beautiful backhand there by Krause. Utah back with the lead. Or back with the lead. They never had the lead. Now they've got the lead. I don't think Soderblom even saw that one coming. What an amazing effort from Krause over these last few games. We'll see here on the replay. It gets dumped around, hits the back of the net. Doan will move down the right side with it, and he sees Krause move up and then just backhand right up over the glove hand of Soderblom. Doesn't even move. It doesn't look like he saw that one at all. Amazing goal there by Krause. Krause, his 9th of the season. Doan and Motto with the assists, their 6th and 11th, respectively. 7:43 left in the third now. Utah with the lead 2-1. Trying to move it up through neutral ice. Dursey will on the second attempt there, but taken right back by Chicago with their own line. Thrown to the left side of neutral ice. They'll get it in left side Utah zone. Thrown towards the net. Vejmelka reaches out to grab that with his glove, and he'll hold for the save. 7:28 left in the third now. Shot sitting 34-19 in favor of Utah. Momentum definitely, for the first time, truly tonight, shifting in Utah's favor. Getting those quick goals, tons of offense. I feel if they clear this one quickly, right back to the Chicago zone, this should be their game to lose at this point. But Chicago playing very, very surprisingly good tonight, all things considered. I feel if any team at this point is going to, surprisingly come back and take this game, it's going to be Chicago. Left side draw, Utah zone, tied up the dot just for a second. Chicago looking to keep it in. They'll ring it around to the right side corner. Nazar not able to stop it. It'll be Kerfoot that knocks it out. Bertuzzi tries to put it right back in, unsuccessful. Hits Nazar in the process there, so it bounces right back out. Utah dumps this one to the right side corner. Chicago back with it. Jones looking to clear it out left side. Will take a bounce back to neutral ice for Sergachev to grab. Dump back to Marino, I believe, back in the Utah zone. Yes, it was Marino. Speaking to him, back with it now, cutting up through neutral ice. He'll chip this one to the left side corner. Bukestad trying to race for it. Instead, it'll be Martinez that gets it back down to the Chicago line. Here comes Bedard back up the other way. Not able to do, not Bedard, Mikheyev with it. Regardless, doesn't do much with it. I'll try on this attempt here. It's Del Mastro putting it in left side. Gets too deep with it to get a shot on net. It will be tied up behind the Utah net. Back up the other way they come. It's Keller left side. Gets this one up to Cooley. Tries to throw that one from an angle. Soderblom, he'll hold for the save. 6:19 left in the third now. Utah playing with the offense with not only the offense they should have had all game, with the pressure they should have had all game. Most importantly, that they've had their fair share of shots and they've been controlling shots, just not able to get that pressure that they needed. And now that they've got it, tides really turned in their favor. Left side draw, Chicago zone will be McBain and Donato on the draw. One back, trying to get a quick shot there is Doan. That one goes wide. Chicago looking to move this one up out of their zone quickly. It'll be Khrushchev that races for it. Model will get to it first. Right side corner. Tied up behind the Utah net. Right back to Model, though. Left side corner this time. Looking to move it out quickly. It'll end up to Krause. We'll touch that to prevent the hand pass there. Doan throwing this one towards the net. That one goes wide as well. Model will pick it up and move it back down to his own zone. Pushed up along the right side boards. Takes a couple bounces right into the middle. It'll be McBain now up the other way with speed. Cutting in right side. Trying to move around the net with it. Vlasic with some pressure. He'll double this one back down to the right side point for Marino. Launched across to Sergachev. Throwing this one towards the net. Looking for a rebound. Won't find it. Bounced wide and saved by Soderblom. Gunther with a quick one. Hits Martinez, I believe. Or that was Murphy that it hit. Regardless, Utah back in their own zone with it now. Will be Sergachev skating up through neutral ice. Tries to get a pass across, hits too many bodies. Broken stick for Bertuzzi, not able to help much on that play. Bedard will dump it in. Dersey will get to it first behind the net, and he'll leave this one for Hayton. Cutting up the ice with speed. Pushing right side corner. Pushing this puck around the left side. Teravainen will get to it first, trying to find Foligno as Utah fights to keep this one in. Won't, but they'll keep control. Dersey, he'll ring this one around. We'll end up back to left side corner, 4:45. Schmaltz with an attempt from an angle. That one goes wide. Another shot from the point. That one hits a body in front. Stenlund with one in close, but that one backhanded right into the body of Soderblom. All Utah so far in the third, and they get the go-ahead goal from Krause. A quick little backhand in front. Beautiful shot by him. See, with under 5 minutes left, if Chicago can muster up enough to get that lead back, or if Utah holds on for their second win in a row. Listening to Chicago, Utah, and Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. We'll be back after the short commercial break. Under 5 to play left in the third. Utah up 2-1. With the leading goal from Krause there, he gets the backhand on Soderblom. Couldn't remember the goalie's name there for a minute. That he was trying for in the first. Remember, he had that breakaway that was saved by the backhand, but he gets it successfully on the second attempt. Not much time left for Chicago to muster up an attack. Utah playing phenomenal in the third. The kind of effort and offense they should have had they should have had all game, but hey, you'll take what you can get, I guess. Left side draw on the Chicago end, looking for a quick one in front. That one saved away, hits a Chicago body. Teravainen passes this one up the other way. 4.5 left in the third now. Kesselring behind his own net with it. He'll wait for Utah to change. Teravainen in front with pressure. Kills 10 seconds off the time. 4:19 now. And for a long pass up there, neutralized. Takes a couple bounces. Soderblom decides to just poke this one away instead of waiting to see if that's icing or not. Too much pressure to decide. Back the other way. Vejmelka, he'll push this one down the left side boards. Here's Schmaltz back up the other way. Long pass up and across to McBain, and they'll call that one, or to Kraus, but they'll call that one offsides at the line. 4 minutes exactly left in the third. You gotta wonder how soon they want to pull Soderblom. Obviously, 4 minutes way too soon to pull him, but you got to think with the pressure Utah's been putting, do you try and see if maybe on a rush, or if you get an icing call your way, do you take it? We'll have to see what happens. Left side draw outside the Utah zone. Chicago will win this one back. Jones trying to cut in with it. He'll get in right side. Sergachev with pressure wrapped around to Bertuzzi. Trying to push this one back down the line, but Doan to the races instead, trying to cut around Martinez, not able to. It'd be McBain that does on the right side instead. Tied up along the right side boards. He'll push this one deep, wrap back to Marino down at the right side point. Trying to get around to McBain, but he's tied up behind the net instead. Doan not able to grab it. Here's Jones back up the other way. He's got Bedard with him, or he's got Nazar with him, not Bedard. Doesn't matter. Chip back behind the Utah net. Now to Sergachev in the left side corner. Moved back down to the Chicago end. That one an icing on Utah. 3:17 left in the third. You've got to wonder in a situation like this, you have the icing call, you've got tired skaters out there. Is this the time you pull Soderblom, or is this too early with how Utah's been playing? Can understand it from either side. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. Based on the looks, it seems like Soderblom staying in the net, and fair decision there, and he is. Left side draw in the Utah zone. Chicago able to take this one away, push back down the line for Murphy. Big shot there by Vlasic, misses the net entirely. Kept down along the boards. Utah almost pokes that one out of the zone. Chicago will keep it in, though. Trying to get a pass over to Murphy. Keeps this one left side, moves up with it quickly. Looking for a backhand in front. That one taken away by Utah. Trying to clear this up out of the zone. Will be pushed back to Marino. Now Sergachev right side corner with it. Cleared down to neutral ice. And that one does not have the legs for an icing. Vlasic will stop it right at the hash marks. 2:45 left in the third now. Bedard out there with Jones. Jones, zone end. Looks like Soderblom making his way to the net, or at least thinking about it. Utah back up the other way quickly now. Kerfoot, Soderblom still in the net. Still in the net. Jones will wrap this one around. Takes a bounce. Stenlund able to push it deep, or at least he tries to. That one knocked up into the netting as he tries to push it around left side. 2:22 left in the third. Face-off in the Chicago end. Last thing you want if you're Chicago in this situation. I believe if they had gotten into the zone on that last attempt, it looked like Soderblom was thinking of making his way to the ice, or at least getting to the hash marks, but that immediate stop at the blue line, and Soderblom stays in. Left side draw, Chicago end, 2:22. Cooley, Nazar on the draw. One back by Chicago. Long pass up, nobody to pick it up through the middle of the Chicago zone. Finally, it'll be Del Mastro that gets away with it. He'll double this one back to his own zone. It'll be Jones with it. He'll wait behind the Chicago net. Finally, breaking up out with it. 2 minutes remaining in the third now. Cutting in right side, throwing this one to the net. Vejmelka, he'll hold for the save. 1:54 and an empty net for Chicago. Chicago skating 6, down 1 with 1:54. Shot sitting 36-20 in favor of Chicago. Chicago additionally taking their time out. As mentioned, shot sitting 36-20 in favor of Utah, breaking that down by period. 8-5 Utah in the first, 14-11 Utah in the second, and most importantly, 14-4 in favor of Utah in the third here. goal scored by Jones in the first on the power play, his 7th from Donato and Teravainen, their 20th and 29th respectively. Keller adds to the Utah scoring in the second, his 21st from Kellering and Cooley, their 17th and 29th respectively. And Krause takes the lead for Utah in the third, his 9th, Doan his 6th, and Mata his 11th assist respectively. Back at it. A minute 54. Utah gets one good clear, and they've been playing plenty. They've had plenty of good clears throughout this third. They get one, they take a bounce, maybe get that to the blue line, throw that one in, and this game is sealed. Right side draw. Tied up the dot, one back by Sergachev, looking to throw this one out, not able to. Kept in along the right side boards, down at the point for Jones now. Over to Bedard, left side point. Back to Jones as well, also at the left side point. Back down to Bedard now. Jones in the slot pushes this one to the right side quickly, looking for a rebound. Nazar barely misses on that one. Vejmelka, he'll hold for the save. Good gracious, that one inches away from tying this game up. Nazar with a golden opportunity. See on the replay here how close he was. That one snapped and just, not sure if Cole got anything on it. We'll see here. Teravainen the one to throw that to the net. I couldn't see from that angle. We'll see from this one. Tricky to tell. Regardless, puck out of the net. And that's what matters if you're Utah at this point. Minute 36, left side draw, Utah zone. It'll be Stenlund and Donato. Donato wins this one back cleanly for Jones. Bedard back to Jones, moves up with it, throws this one to the net, goes wide. Tied up along the right side, or along the left side boards, pushed out of the Utah end, but Teravainen gets to it first. He'll hold behind his own net. Drops this one for Jones, a minute 20 now. Jones skating out with it, drops this one for Teravainen, chipped up left side. Bedard trying to cut in with it, instead taken away by Utah, looking for a clear all the way down, and they will. That one icing on Utah. A minute 07 now left in the third. Chicago needs 1 inches away from having that goal. Whether it be Nazar missing or Cole's defense, regardless, they still need it. Left side draw. It'll be Hayton and it will be Donato. Tied up the dot, they'll drop this one again. Puck dropped again, tied up the dot. Utah trying to win it back, instead knocked back to the line. Jones will get to it first, though, out of the zone. Here's Doan now with it, racing deep, trying now. He has to get in front of the net. Pressure in that left side corner. If nothing else, kills a good amount of time off the clock. Here's Chicago back up the other way. It's Nazar chipping this one around to the left side boards for Donato. 45 seconds now. Trying to move this one down the left side boards. Utah will clear all the way and just wide of the empty net. Both teams racing for it, but they call it icing regardless. It could have been close there. Could have argued Doan was beating him, or at least at the same pace, but regardless, back to the Utah end we go. Doan looking for one after he was robbed earlier. Great effort by him on both attempts there to get that one deep, kill a good few seconds off the clock, and then on the second attempt, racing to grab that one. He matches Jones's pace, but ultimately called icing. 37 seconds. Stenlund, Donato, left side draw. Tied up with a dot, bouncing along the left side boards. Finally, it breaks free. Nazar looking for one from an angle. Bertuzzi barely misses that one. We'll have to see on the replay how close that was. Push back around the left side corner. 25 seconds now. Bedard pushing this one back to Vlasic. Back to Teravainen, back to Vlasic. Shoots this one to the net. That one blockered away. Right side corner, back down to Nazar. In the slot for Vlasic. Shot over to Bedard. Hits Marino. Behind the net, Bertuzzi with it. In front for Nazar. Tries to get that one to Donato. That one poked away. 3 seconds. Another shot. That one saved away by Vejmelka. And that's the end of the game. Utah victorious. They take this one 2-1 off an incredible goal from Krause and an amazing sequence at the end there. Great defense there by Utah to keep that one out. And additionally, great offense by Chicago to give everything they got in that last few minutes there. Cannot speak highly enough of the Chicago defense for the entire game. Incredible effort from them. Utah, frankly, at times should not have won that game, but luckily they get that goal near the end of the second, carry that momentum into the third. And I mean, what do you even say about that third? It was all Utah, minus those last few minutes. Two chances right at the end. Bertuzzi with the second one on the replay again here, just whiffs on the shot. Yeah, just whiffs on that shot there. Two attempts right at the end Chicago had, but ultimately they come up just short. Final shot sitting 36-22 in favor of Utah. Final splits for the periods 8-5 in the first Utah, 14-4 Utah in the second, and 14-6 Utah in the third. Next game on the homestand for Utah is Thursday, the 27th, where they take on divisional rival Minnesota. And finally, they finish that out on Saturday against New Jersey. Ultimately, there will not be a call for either of those games as I am attending the Minnesota one and I have work during the New Jersey one. The next game I will call will be Thursday, March 6th. Utah back on the road for a short little 2-game stand, takes on Detroit at home, hoping to keep their playoff hopes alive by then. As for me, I have been Taryn Holmes. This is Utah 801 Utah Hockey Radio. Have yourself a good rest of the night.